As we saw today in class, there are three elements of a good graph. The first being a descriptive title, which tells the reader exactly what kind of data is being displayed on the graph. The variables should also be labeled on the X and Y axis. It will define for the reader what is happening, what value is changing on both axes, and the scaling are the numbers or the values of the tick marks or grid lines. Very important so that you can understand the story being told in the graph you're looking at. There's some other vocabulary we need to know. A plane is a flat or level surface. In football, the line of scrimmage is sometimes there's an invisible plane that goes up and down, and neither team can cross the other side without being called offsides. They have to stay on their side of the invisible plane. Sometimes football players will be reaching for the goal line. You can see the pylon is marking the goal line here, and this football player is trying to break the invisible plane going up and down so that he can score a touchdown. A coordinate plane is a plane used in math to plot or graph coordinates of two different variables. Here's some more football pictures of football players trying to break the plane. Here's some important graph vocabulary. The origin is the starting point or vertex of a graph, corner of a graph. An axis is a ray with one endpoint at the origin, and the arrow goes on indefinitely towards positive infinity. A coordinate is a number that represents the value of any variable on a graph. There's an x-coordinate and a y-coordinate. Since there are two axes, there are two variables. And the ordered pair contains the pair of coordinates showing a specific location on a graph. For instance, the ordered pair is held together by the parentheses. It's like a married couple being held together by a pair of wedding rings. The first coordinate is the x-coordinate. It's the value of the x-coordinate, and the second coordinate is the value of the y variable. The first one, or the x one, is always horizontal, the y is vertical. Or if you're looking at an input-output table, what you see in the inputs usually comes first on the x-axis, and the output goes on the y-axis. And notice that all of these are alphabetical, making them a little easier to remember.